Hello and welcome back to the Guilty Parent Club series. I'm Dr. Jo Muller, and in this episode we're continuing to explore the child side of the 6P key framework that's here to help you be a more confident, connected parent, but without the pressure. In the last episode, we explored how the child perspective key sets the foundation for everything by helping us to take our child's perspective, understand where they're coming from and what their behaviour means, and to communicate to them that we really get it and that we get them. To build that connected relationship with them and to get on their side and be able to pause before we react. We also heard about how, as adults, we have lots of tools at our disposal to make life feel more predictable, certain, and under our control, but that kids don't always feel the same. The child predictability key is there to help our child's brain feel calmer so they're more receptive to listening to what we're telling them and more able to learn. We talked about how predictable language and predictable visuals can be really powerful for those difficult boundary moments, as well as creating a more structured home environment overall. So don't forget that each of the tools we cover in the 6P key framework offers this benefit. They give us practical ideas for in-the-moment handling those tricky situations with our child, but they also give us a more general approach to parenting. Things that work towards helping us be on the same team as our child and keeping everyone's brains calmer. In this episode, we're going to be diving into the child playfulness key and the child power key. And these two work really brilliantly together. So let's start with how and why playfulness is so important, and then we'll move on to power. The child playfulness key is all about embracing the power of play to teach boundaries. When our child is playful and having fun, their brain is naturally regulated. And play is a child's language, really. It's their primary method of learning. And when their brain is regulated and happy, that's when they learn best. So, getting playful when we're setting boundaries makes lots of sense. It helps our child to listen in the moment, but it also helps them learn the boundary for the future. Using humour, fun, challenges, silliness, or whatever is playful for you and your child is what we're looking for here. You know your child best, so you'll know what will work best for them. Playfulness is something that most parents use naturally some of the time. And we know it helps dial down tension at those difficult moments. But when we're overwhelmed and frazzled, it can feel impossible to tap into that. And that's why we work on using playfulness as a proactive strategy in boundary setting. Because planning ahead can help us to use what we know is helpful even when we don't feel like it. We also explore using play as a more preventative strategy for emotional regulation, so think physical movement, sensory boxes, and all sorts of other creative methods that can help balance our child's nervous system. For those times when tempers might be flaring or frustrations brimming over, we can also have a menu of options for our child to choose from, and that can be quite a game changer. And finally, in this key, we learn about golden playtime. This is a structured way to ensure that we're having regular connection time with our child, and this predictability can work wonders for their overall regulation and their relationship with us. Again, putting them more on our team, which can help smooth over those trickier moments. What I love about the child playfulness key is that while it is a structured approach, it also has loads of space for spontaneity and creativity and for you to bring your authentic self as a parent into this. Now let's talk about the child power key, which flows really nicely on from the playfulness ideas. If you ever feel like you and your child are stuck in endless power struggles, or you're hearing no more often than you'd like, this one's going to be for you. The child power key is really all about finding everyday ways to give our child a sense of autonomy and control, rather than everything being done to them or for them. because it's quite easy to forget how little control children actually have over their lives. This, quite understandably, can make them feel frustrated, anxious, or invalidated, particularly when they're developing their autonomy and their sense of independence, which in turn switches on that threat response in their brain, and it makes it even harder for them to listen, to connect, and to cooperate with us. The power key helps to top up what we can think of as their power cup, so that they feel heard and respected. And when that cup stays topped up, we will see less resistance, fewer meltdowns, and generally a smoother path when we need to set boundaries. There are some great practical strategies that come under the child power key. Some of them can be used in the moment, some of them are more preventative. We talk about giving children meaningful autonomy, for example, like age-appropriate responsibilities, tools like backward chaining to scaffold independence, and deliberately offering plenty of simple choices through the day, but not overwhelming children with choice. We look at how to learn problem-solving skills and not leaping in to fix things as parents, but letting our children try out ideas, make mistakes, and learn how to persevere. And these strategies can also be really helpful for sibling rivalry. There are some handy scripts and approaches for situations where boundaries need to be kept, but children can still have a say in the how of what happens. And we discuss how saying yes more often, or at least finding ways to frame things positively, can help even when we're really saying no. So overall, the power key is about building up our children's sense of self-competence and resilience, all while keeping life a little bit calmer for everyone. Thank you for tuning into this episode where we've been learning about how playfulness and power work together to regulate our children's brains, to give us practical tools to get things done, as well as paving the way for healthy future development. I would love you to join me in the next episode where we're going to hear about the role that the final child P key takes, the physical support key, and to hear a summary of what we've learnt in the child P keys. Remember, you are doing a brilliant job, parents. These keys are simply here to help boost what you're already doing, to give you some new ideas and support you to feel more confident in handling tricky moments. See you in the next episode. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode. If this episode resonated for you, I would love you to join us in the Guilty Parent Club. As a member of the club, you'll gain access to exclusive private podcasts and workbooks providing deeper dives into these topics, taking you step by step through the 6P key framework, and they're packed with practical tools that you can apply straight away. For more details, head over to drjoethepsychologist.com/Guilty Parent Club. See you there.